Hi there, folks. Welcome to another edition of the Legend of the Traveling TARDIS radio show. My name is Christian Basil, and we have a special episode for you today. It's going to be a big announcement that's going to be taking place at GalaxyCon, and this will be taking place that John Barrowman will be at GalaxyCon online Saturday, September the 12th. You can get personalized autographs and have a Q&A with John himself. So today we're going to have a whole tribute to Mr. Barrowman himself, the man who would be Captain Jack Harkness. So today we're just going to have a special tribute to the man we call Captain Jack. My name is Christian Basil. Years ago, I had an idea. I got myself a TARDIS. Took it to new places, met a lot of new people, took some great pictures, and talked Doctor Who. From Krypton Radio and the creators of the Hanging With web show, this is the legend of the Traveling TARDIS. Join me on my latest adventures and become part of the legend. And folks, again, welcome to the Legend of the Traveling TARDIS. Again, my name is Christian Basil, and here we go. Here's the team themselves. And Mr. Patty Hawkins is joining us.
My name is Patty Hawkins. 30 years ago, I bought a mug. Ever since then, I've taken it on adventure. No, I haven't. No, I haven't.
Please, dear God, tell me you've watched it occasionally.
I went to the comic shop I used to run in the 90s during when Superman died. That's how long ago it was. Yeah, it was like I saw this in the catalog. Yeah, I get one of those, and yeah, had it ever since. And yes, I've watched it a few times. And it's classics. It's got this guy on it. So.
Oh. But we're not here to talk about Tom Baker. We're here to talk about another gentleman. His name is John Barrowman. And let me introduce you to the panelists today. To my lovely left, or your right, or wherever you're looking on the screen over there, the lovely, my co-host, Melanie Dean from Pieces of Melee on the Instagram. How you doing there, Melanie?
Good. How are you, everybody? Hopefully watching now and listening on the podcast.
Gotcha. And the Right of Wands author, Mackenzie Floor. How you doing, Mackenzie?
Hey, doing good. Hey, chat.
Hey, chats. Hello. How we address the masses now? Hey, chat. Might as well just throw that up there in there. You can live chat with us if you are on the Sledge or if you are on the YouTube channel, and definitely on the Facebook. Please go ahead, live chat with the Team TARDIS today. And speaking of live chat, we're here again with Mr. Patty Hawkins from GalaxyCon. How are you doing there, sir?
I am well. I got to see some of you this weekend at the other convention. I'm not allowed to say its name because I work for these guys, but no, I'm allowed to say it. Yeah, you guys, anybody who participated at DragonCon's online programming, I got a chance to catch some of it, and all did a fantastic job. Absolutely represented yourselves and the brand. So good job.
No, I totally forgot. It's been one of those memory wiping weekends that we had out there. It's the day after Labor Day. Melanie, what was it? What was your like? Because that was our first time. The Legend of the Traveling TARDIS premiered at DragonCon for 2020. Not necessarily in Atlanta, but how did you feel about that, Melanie?
It was so fun. It was great. I mean, didn't have to drive up to Atlanta. Didn't have to fly up to Atlanta. So that's always fun. I got to just sit on my ass here and got to be in a panel, which was amazing. I loved the Brit track. Was really, really fun, and got to talk Big Finish, and not necessarily just Doctor Who. Got to talk a little bit of everything that we like about Big Finish programming. So that was the one I was on and had a lot of fun with it.
I know. It was so much fun to do the Big Finish. And I think everybody was going like, anytime I had an answer to a question, I actually had the CD in my hand ready to go. I was going, oh, did
you did. Yeah. You literally had like the stack right there, and everybody would talk face up and he's like, this one, and then this one, and then this one. I'm like, oh my God. The rest of us are like picking our phones up to show you. Like, we have it too. We have technology.
You're like a card sharp. You just have it in, and all of a sudden, and it's like, oh, that one. Oh, Jago and Lightfoot. Yeah.
He actually did pull out Jago, Lightfoot, and Strax.
I saw. I was watching.
I think also I wanted to prove that I know my Big Finish. Not just, and it's cool too because we're going to get plugged the Big Finish because we were talking about people mentioning there were sales at Big Finish, and there are. And especially now, there were some episodes that I was not able to actually listen to beforehand because they had gone into the Disney vault or whatever. It would never been heard from again. Then all of a sudden, what was it? The Sirens of Time, which was the first Doctor Who Big Finish with 5, 6, and 7. And I got to listen to that, and it's a really cool episode. And you got to think, this was the first episode that they actually did and have improved on, decades later. So it's really, really cool there. Again, and for those of you just joining us, we want to say hi to your chats. This is going to be a big tribute to Mr. John Barrowman himself. And just a reminder, again, if you want to jot this on your calendars, John Barrowman will be premiering at GalaxyCon Saturday, September the 12th. And I think that's at 2 p.m. if I'm not mistaken.
2 p.m. Eastern time.
Yeah. And you can get personalized autographs, and you get a chance to see a free live stream and a Q&A with the guests. And I think do you get to actually chat with John? Is that part of the deal there?
Not this time around.
Okay.
We're only doing autographs. I want to say that if this was a very positive experience with him, maybe we can entice her. I actually have not heard this through GalaxyCon, but somebody in one of the GalaxyCon threads said that he may have done this with another chain, and he had said he did not have a good experience with it. That could have been technology issues. That could have been any number of things. But at very least, I'm gonna be hosting him live for 50 minutes, and it's gonna be the same format as Christian. You were out Traveling TARDIS, so there'll be questions scrolling at the bottom, and I'll be saying, "Okay, so John, this comes from Christina, and she wants to know who's a better kisser, or whatever." And it's the whole thing is, so it'll be me and I'll be the go-between for the audience, and hopefully I'll get a chance to chat with him for a few minutes ahead of time. I've got about 20 questions in the back of my head, and I will have to boil that down to 2, maybe 3 at the outside, because again, I'm always about here's where what I do is not an interview. I'm hosting a Q&A. So I can ask my guests a few opening questions, and I may indulge myself and go a little bit in some deep dives into their obscure stuff. I was able to ask William Shatner a little bit about Barbary Coast, which was the first series he did after Star Trek, which was a curious mishmash of Wild Wild West and Columbo, where he wore all these crazy disguises. And I just said, like, hey, well, I got a minute to talk about Barbary Coast. He's like, I had a good time on that for a little while. And then, but he was kind of delighted by that. So, and I have a few tidbits from Mr. Barrowman's past, from his theater days that I'm hoping I'll be able to ask him about, and we'll see where it goes from there.
Gotcha.
I know Mondo wants to see some costume change. Anything is possible. I can't guarantee anything, but he'll be wherever he is. I don't know if he'll be broadcasting out of his house or if he's on the road somewhere or whatever. I do not know as of yet. So we'll see.
Mondo on our YouTube says, I want to see some costume changes. And like, no, I don't know.
Anything goes. Honestly,
have you lay down on the floor and you can walk across you on the stage there.
True. But again, here's what is really, really remarkable about this opportunity that we've got is that it's a traditional Q&A. Unless I'm told radically between now and then, there's going to be an opportunity where, and if we've seen him live, and probably we all have, we know he doesn't do a Q&A. No. He comes out and he does a show. I mean, he sings, he dances, he prances, but that's okay because that's who he is. And he goes to the audience, he does this, and he gives this big, wonderful wonderful outpouring of just his positivity and affection and his own gratitude towards the fans for embracing him for who he is and loving him back. And it's a wonderful 50 minutes at any show. Even if you're not a fan of him at all, I always tell everybody, it's like, John Barrowman is? No. Oh, let's see if we can get some standing room for his Q&A, and then you walk out there, you saw you basically get about a 3-hour show, about 45 minutes. And it's absolutely wonderful, but nobody can ask him, hey, what's your favorite episode, or what's this, or what's that? And I know there's some other venues he's been able to do that, but the past few years he's really been focusing on the show. So this is a great opportunity to actually ask him questions and hear his no doubt incredibly entertaining answers.
And the fun part about this is that, well, for a better term, I don't know if you remember a while back at MegaCon, I think it was Fan Days, no, maybe not Fan Days, but it was one of the MegaCons that the staff came up to me and goes, we want you to introduce John Barrowman. And they were explaining to me how to do it. And the thing was, after you're done, leave the stage. And I was like, what? You don't want me? No, just leave. Do your thing and leave. So so you got 2 minutes, go out there and do it. So I did a 2-minute thing. I got I guess for a better term, I was opening act, trying to get all the audience rallied up, and they thanked me afterwards. But I go backstage, and next thing you know, I was peering around the curtain. He went out there, and the next thing you know, he just took off. That's John Barrowman. He actually is a one-man band. You don't really need anybody to do it, but you get this moment there. I just got to ask you a question about GalaxyCon. What is the most interesting thing that has come up during all the interviews you've done? You've done Shatner, you've done the Fonz, you've done Star Trek, you've done Star Wars, you've done anime, you've done. I mean, which one would you say this is the moment of GalaxyCon that I would put up on a pedestal to show everybody what I did there?
Well, we've been doing it now for about 3 months, I think. And I have not looked back at the ones I did those first few weeks, because I know I probably look at myself and be like, oh, I can't believe I said that. I can't believe I did that, because we're trying to figure it out. We're trying to understand what we're doing. And I was also trying to work on my spiel to, it's like, hey, everybody, welcome to the show. Again, we're trying to get our sea legs as it is. And that's just from my personal point of view. Honestly, I think if I had to say, I'll say there's two that I can think of off the top of my head that I'm really proud of, and they're recent because, again, I feel like I've gotten better to the point where I wouldn't mind showing everybody this, and I wouldn't be dreading my end of it, regardless of it. The guests would be awesome. I did. Weirdly enough, they're both Deep Space Nine related. We did a big Deep Space Nine cast one 2 weeks ago, which was really remarkable. They gotten very comfortable with me, and I've gotten very comfortable with them. And it was just really nice. And we're just talking, just having a really good conversation. And again, this is what I really try to do. It's not about character and canon. It's about these performers or writers or creators as people and the job. That's the perspective I try to do with it. Because my edge is, I think the fans, especially in a live Q&A, they're going to talk about, hey, in this episode you did this, or was the makeup hard, or whatever. And that's fair game and absolutely valid. I just kind of want to say a little bit about you. If I'm on stage with Michael Dorn, I asked him about his flying. He's a passionate aviator. And we went down that rabbit hole for just 15 minutes, just talking about F-14s and flying with Blue Angels and the whole 9 yards. And he so apologized for it afterwards. Of course, he's 9 feet tall. It's like, oh, I'm so sorry. I'll talk about that. And I'm like, oh, no. It's okay. It's okay. Because my attitude is, if the guest is engaged, and you guys are familiar with this, if the guest is engaged, truly and honestly, then I think the audience is engaged, because especially in this day and age, with YouTube and everything else, if you really want to know the answer to your favorite episode or the crazy thing this way too, they've been asked that before, and you can find that answer probably in about 5 minutes of scouring YouTube or whatever. So I would just rather let's just have a moment. So going back to that, the DS9 cast, they're very, very good friends. There's nothing feigned. They really are good and comfortable with each other, and it was just a comfortable thing. And we just all laughed together. We laughed together. We nodded together, and it was just really, really, it was comfy, and I can appreciate a nice, comfortable panel where everything just goes well. My producer afterwards said that was one of her favorites. So that was that one, and then there was the guys who played the two main Klingons, Gowron and John Martok from Deep Space Nine. And those two guys are fun as hell. That one was fun. That one was raucous. That one was some guests will treat hosts and moderators like a cat and a mouse, and they'll bat them around for a bit. They won't pounce on them and tear them apart, but I've been patted around, and sometimes I've been the one mouse shared between 6 or 7 cats. And bam, bam, bam. Yeah, I won't mention names, but I've definitely walked out of there like walking funny, but I survived. You survived the experience.
Survive an interview. Speaking of surviving, Patty, I'm going to put you on hold right now because we've got a commercial break. When we return, we're going to continue our discussion, our tribute to John Barrowman arriving at GalaxyCon September the 12th. When we return, please continue to stay long, on, tune in, and become part of the legend. Here we go.
Bateman.
What's the Bateman?
A novel set in Florida, written by Florida author D.L. Havlin. Suspense, mystery, and murder.
Evidence is in the bait.
The Bateman is available at local bookstores and online.
The detail give this ghost story an even more eerie atmosphere. Find My Soul to Keep on Amazon.com today.
And for those of you joining us live, watching this on the YouTube or the Facebook stream, you're watching this on StreamYard, and don't thank us. Thank our friends at Geek Insider.
At Geek Insider, we foster relationships with those in the geek sphere so we can give our audience the insider view of entertainment, tech, and more.
And thanks for joining us. Welcome back to the Legend of the Traveling TARDIS. My name is Christian Basil. You're here with Melanie Dean, Mackenzie Floor, and Patrick Hawkins, the man who would be and is the host of GalaxyCon Online 2020. And we have a few questions that just came up over here. Patty, Alfred Pennyworth, really? Is there a free Q&A I want to watch?
Yes.
I know Alfred. I give him a hard time.
All of GalaxyCon's online Q&A offerings are free. You do have to go to a screen. You have to register for it. So don't panic but you do have to put in your information and stuff like that. That's just in case something weird happens in the chat room or something that affects me too. And also we want to give you the option of signing up for the mailing list, so that way we can let you know more that goes on and stuff like that. And and that is just what it is. So it's not like this format. We just go to it as it is. So you do have to go to that. But while you're there, of course, the registering status, you can decide to make your purchases. For in Barrowman's case, we've got 8 different photos that you can buy to have autographed. Personalization is available. So I forget how many limited it is. You can't obviously say to my very best friend and the love of my life and blah, 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 blah. But I think you could say, hey, Janet, happy 40th birthday. I believe that's what what the particulars. It does change from guest to guest. And when we do have the option available for the guests, of course, there is the live chats available. Like I said, Barrowman is not available at this time. It may possibly be in the future, but certainly with the bulk of our other guests that we have, that option is available as well. Mm-hmm. I got my housemate a couple minutes with Shatner last time we had him a few weeks ago, and he was like, so.
No, I think I can safely say, and I'm just going to add this, just correct me if I'm wrong there. It is up to John which questions he wants to answer to. He's not going to get to every question, and he might skip a few questions, or if somebody goes awry out there.
What it is, and that's always just a big question. You come into it, and it is a private chat room, and so everybody right away can say, "Oh, I have a question for John," and you type it on in. We have a team of producers that's actually monitoring the chat room. We have a room chaperone in case somebody gets on in there and acts like a jerk.
Get out.
And I to my knowledge, it has not happened, or if it has happened, it hasn't reached up to me. So that's really good. I think when people realize that they actually have to give a legal name. You know, you can still have your own screen name. Again, it's just like people joining us on StreamYard right now. You can have a screen name, but I think when people realize they have to put their real name in at some point, I think that scares away the trolls and the other ones or whatever. You know, Mr. Barrowman's behavior is anti-Christian.
Yeah. I mean, you could. It's curated. That's the way I kind of tell people it's curated because I've watched a few of them and I've thrown questions in here, you know, here and there, and you can kind of see like if you keep saying the same question of can you please tell me happy birthday, and you keep putting it every 30 seconds. Right. After a while, you will be booted because that's not going to happen. But you know, come up with different questions or whatever. Maybe it makes it on. That's great.
And I can tell you right now, you only need to write your question once.
Yeah,
I promise you. Another thing, neither the guests nor myself can see the chat room right now. In this format, I'm able to actually look at the live comments when they're going through. But the GalaxyCon format, I don't see them at all. Neither does the guests. So our team will pull the questions out and they'll cut and paste them. And then when I get the word that, hey, we've got a good bank of questions, I'll say like, oh, okay, let's go to our first question. We scroll at the bottom and that's the first time I'm seeing it. And that's the first time our guests are seeing it. I may adjust them because they're specifically cut and pasted. So sometimes I may expand them or contract them. Sometimes I'll say, you know, a popular one case in point would be, oh, okay, hey, you picked up any new hobbies or things during COVID? And I've said that I'll expand that out. Have you picked up any new ones or revisited any old ones? You know, that because sometimes, well, I've gone back to baking. I've gone this, I've gone that way too. And sometimes I got to take a second too because English may not be the first language of the person who typed it in. So sometimes there's a stiltedness to it, and it's like becoming I am to the. Oh! The person wants to know if they ever went to your hometown to so and so. What should they check out? You know, just something silly like that. So take a second. And the reason, and I do read it out, not because to infer that the guest, you know, can't read. And again, with multiple guests too, but in case people are only able to listen, and also it does give the guests a chance to read it themselves. They can start formulating an answer that. If they wanted to have a really good one, a really humorous one, or entertaining, new whatever's comfortable in their own idiom, you know. Some people are like, no, you know, but not often though. Everybody, right? All of our guests have really done really fantastic. They've really embraced this formula. They would love to get back to physical shows, just same as I would, and all the rest of us do. But they really are enjoying this, and as people are coming back, they're also getting more comfortable with it too. So that really helps. So that's really what it is. So it's not. Now, I'll be honest. The guests could probably say no, don't take any questions about this subject or not like that way too. I mean, Barrowman could tell the team, just no questions about Torchwood, Arrow, or Doctor Who. And we'll do everything else. Yeah.
I remember Megalodon 3, so there you go. I
highly doubt he'll do that. And I will honestly say I'll give your audience a couple of hints for asking your questions. It's a little it's a little easier with a solo guest that we can get a little more into character and canon. That's good. When we have multiple guests going on, sometimes it's a little harder. And obviously, if we have multiple guests, we won't ask questions about them. Like, I can't tell you how many times we'll do like a Dragon Ball one, and like, oh, this question is for Chris Sabat. It's like, nah, bro, we can't do that. You know, it's like so too. So my whole thing is this is why I tell everybody, the less narrowly specific you get your question, the better it is. If you ask a very, very broad question, if you hey, you know, this way too, it was just like you know, something that's like, hey, what makes you smile lately? You know, and then that again, that's what we're all about. We're all about, hey, this is what you let, and then when I say that out, that lets the guest go down any particular road that they really, really want without disappointing the people who ask that question. I've been there so many times when somebody will come up to the microphone and maybe ask a really deep canonical question, and and I've seen the celebs, they try to pivot, they try to do the way too, but sometimes it's just like, I'm sorry, I wasn't in the writer's room. I just got the script and I did the words and I just don't understand them, and that's that. And that's partially on me too, to try to deflect that or re-navigate that or reach the way too. So I'll say this much. Positive questions, really sort of broad, open-ended sort of questions, and no requests. And I say this when we do the physical shows too. What is a request? Exactly. Can you say happy birthday to this? Yeah. It's like, oh, okay. While you're here on camera, can you sing us your favorite song? They can do this, or or when they try to say, oh, can I go on stage and get a hug? Yeah. No. Sorry. It's funny. Recently, and this is not a convention. This was a separate thing. Olivia Newton-John and Travolta did a tour. A Grease tour reunion where they were doing screenings at small at venues and had a Q&A afterwards. And I know some people who went to it, and I'm not sure if they had a host or moderator, but someone said, oh, can I come get a hug? And they were like, oh, sure. And then everybody else in the line was, oh, can you do that? Yeah. The whole thing just got completely taken over by requests and not questions. And it's like, yeah.
Panels I've ever been where the host or / moderator, when they start the show, kind of doing the warm up by laying out the ground rules of please do not do this, please do not do that, and usually those kind of set the tone for the panel so that both the guest is comfortable and that you don't have those weird kind of awkward secondhand embarrassment while you're sitting there going,
well, my speech always is rule 1 is exactly the amount of questions you get, because how many times we see people go, I have 2 questions. Right? Yeah. Rule 2.
Yeah. I love those.
Yeah. Make a follow up. Make a request. Feel free to ask a question. Don't make a request. And I go on that list of what's a hugs. And I have a little longer spiel. It's like reading your spec script, doing this, sampling your homemade hot sauce, or getting your luggage and following your home. Yeah.
John Barrowman.
I've seen people try to give food, and I've taken it as I'll give them to you later. And I'm like, candy from strangers.
Sorry, they're going to be gracious. Thank you at the table. And once you're out of my sight.
And again, and I'm sure 900,999 times out of a million, it is innocuous and it is a pleasantry. But it just, in this day and age, you just can't. Although I've seen some people do like, oh, this is delicious, thank you. Well, if it's sealed, if it's absolutely like somebody says, oh, I heard you like Kit Kats. It's like I love Kit Kats, and they're sealed. That's fine. I made homemade Kit Kats for you with my special.
Yeah. I get the feeling that if anybody asked John Barrowman if you could sample his homemade hot sauce, that might just go out the window. Speaking of hot sauce, we have really no segue to this because I'm just lousy at it. We got a commercial break. When we return.
Oh, do we have another hot romance novel?
Yes, we do. We have plenty.
Get ready.
We've got plenty. We love it. So when we return, please continue to stay locked on, tune in, and sample our hot sauce.
Alien invaders enslave Earth,
Unleashing hunters into the ruined wastes.
One young survivor struggles to elude their monsters, clinging to hope.
When he's stolen off the planet by a sarcastic starship AI, they pit their uneasy alliance against a treacherous galaxy.
Explore a whole new verse of barbarism and betrayal
Wonder and adventure
in the Scion series
by Michael J. Allen.
beginning with Book 1, Scion Conquered Earth.
Available in print, ebook, and audio on Amazon.com.
Experience Samara's adventure as she imagines the people around her change into friendly cartoon animals right before her eyes. Journey with her in this poetic tale, My Cartoon Imagination at School.
Hi, I'm Claudia Christian with some exciting updates in the Sinclair Method world. First of all, we launched our new coaching page. It's yoursinclairmethod.com, so you can go there and book a session with one of our fabulous coaches. You can also reach that page by visiting c3foundation.org. It's at the top of the landing page of the website. The second piece of news is Journeys is out. Woohoo! This book has been a long time in the making, and it is available in Amazon, Barnes & Noble, your local bookstore, and there's a limited amount of signed copies at c3foundation.org. So Get your copy of Journeys now and visit the coaching page for some wonderful support. If you're on the Sinclair method, you can book a session with a variety of different coaches. Take care and be well.
Now on Amazon.com, iCoin from author Jeremy Mosby. It's an alternate reality, and the leader of the planet iCoin is none other than Benjamin Franklin. When corrupt officials threaten not only iCoin but the Earth as well, an unlikely chosen one, Jeremy, must face dark foes to save the Earth and iCoin alike. Author Jeremy Mosby takes readers on a superhero's adventure through this compelling and imaginative alternate universe. Get iCoin on Amazon.com today.
And ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Legend of the Traveling TARDIS. My name is Christian Basil, and that's right, that is Captain Jack Harkness back in the saddle. I'm hoping against hope that the rumors of him returning during 13's time are true. I'm hoping against hope out there. But I also wanted to show you some other pictures. This is actually the first picture I took of John. And Garrett David Lloyd, who knew about the traveling TARDIS, John Barrowman at the time did not. He actually was like, "What do I do with this?" And Garrett was just holding it, just trust me on this. And that's the picture that came out. So if everybody, for those of you who are listening on the radio show, sorry about that, but I'll have these pictures up on the traveling TARDIS. But it's basically Garrett and John taking the traveling TARDIS and pulling it apart from each other and screaming kind of in a weird way there. This is a picture everybody likes about John Barrowman. And the most recent picture I took, this one was just a nice one out there. This is John kissing the traveling TARDIS. And this one was a weird one because he knew about the traveling TARDIS at this point, and I brought it back to him. I was going to take a picture, and he goes, "What would you like?" And I said, "Honestly, I want you to give it a big kiss." And he goes, "Well, I don't know where it's been." And I go, "John, to be honest, I don't know where you've been." So he goes, "Fair enough." And that's the picture that came out over there. So he would not kiss it on impact, but that's as close as he came to. And this is pre-COVID, so it was safe at the time.
Well, nice.
So those are the pictures that I've got of John there. So yeah, a big tribute out there. And I want to address one of the comments from one of our good friends, Dave Chapman from the lighthole.ca. He says, "The man is one of the most pleasant and legitimately inspirational people I've ever had the opportunity to meet." And I've got a question for the panel. Melanie, you can start it off over here. When you hear the words John Barrowman, what comes to mind? What do you think about?
Gracious, honest, effervescent. I mean, I'm just trying, for some reason, just picking single words right now, but that's kind of encapsulates him. He is who he is. You're going to see him. He's going to be on stage. I mean, in a way, he'll always be up in front of a fan. He'll always kind of be on stage. He knows he's on stage when he's doing a con. But you kind of get a feeling that it just is who he is. You know, he's going to be on his, I would say, somewhat best behavior. He'll be on his con behavior. But I mean, he seems to be a genuinely nice guy. So, and I mean, we see him a lot also. So whatever persona he shows up, you're going to kind of see consistency there too. And if he's not having such a great day, then, you know, he's still going to be up for you, which is just absolutely just, you know, gracious and awesome about him.
Mackenzie, you hear the name John Barrowman, what comes to mind to you?
For me, well, I've had the pleasure of being at con with him 3 different times. So all those times, he's always been the same way. He's always energetic, enthusiastic, truthful, a storyteller. I love his stories. It doesn't matter what it is. He's always got a good story for the audience, and he can make you be able to laugh and cry, all that stuff. And especially when he comes up on stage wearing the different dresses and different costumes, that's just always part of him.
In the chat room, Willow, our GalaxyCon Q&As are 100% and always free. Always. You just have to register the website. They are free. They're free to view. They're free to, the autographs you have to pay for. But I will say this much about the autographs. We handle everything. All you do is send this way to it. We send them all to the celebrity. They sign them. They send them back. They send it back to our headquarters, and then we send them directly to you.
Gotcha.
The chat-to-chat one, if the celebrity happens to be doing it, that one is paid, which John is not doing that for this particular one.
John is not doing that one. I'm hoping that we have a great turnout, and we show him the value of our format and how we do things at GalaxyCon, and maybe that can entice him to come back and give it a try with us and some of his fans here. So, because we've had I've seen the clips of some of the one-on-one chats with other celebs, and they're a lot of fun. There's some samplings of it on the GalaxyCon's channel on YouTube you can check out. So, what do I think of when I think of John Barrowman? I just think of the fans. I just think you I don't even need to know that John Barrowman is there. If I see more than 2 or 3 Cap Jack cosplayers, I'm like, oh, Barrowman must be here. Because that's the way too. And I just also think that I think of my respect for the guy as a guy who's really taken the convention model and he's advanced it. He's raised the bar for convention guests. And I'm not saying that against the convention guests, but he gives value. Yes, he gives value. And I as a younger up and coming anime actor, and I've told him, I said, look at what John Barrowman does. I mean, he sings, he puts on the show, does this way too. You sing. I'm telling you, man. Look at him as a model for what he does. Because, quite frankly, a usual turnaround for a convention guest is about 3 years. They'll be at one area, and then you won't see them again for 3 years because everybody's sort of about the stuff. John Barrowman could go back to the same show every year and still do the same amount of business. Nobody ever gets bored of him, and he doesn't get bored of anybody else either. So
I remember at one con he went there. He was scheduled for, I think, Saturday, Sunday, but he got there Friday, and next thing you know, he was at his booth. And we're like, what? And at one point, one of my friends had asked, he's like, you kind of did the off the cuff thing of, you're here a little early, because I think it was like during load-in, he was just kind of setting up. And he goes, yeah, I figured might as well, maybe my lines will get cut down on Saturday, Sunday, and I can walk the con a little bit more. And he does. That man will walk up and down Artist Alley. I've seen him in Artist Alley kind of walking up and just browsing and stuff like that. So he does enjoy going to the cons too.
Oh yeah, absolutely. There was one year that I went to a convention where, unfortunately, and this is one thing I love about him too, is that he's very much into social media. So this was a case where he accidentally fell asleep and he overslept. So therefore he missed his flight and wasn't going to get to the convention that particular day. So he got onto his Instagram and Twitter and they Facebook Live and was getting all apologetic, saying how he was going to be there. Well, he ended up getting there later that night, and he literally stayed till I think it was like 2 or 3 in the morning just for the fans, so that everybody would be able to get through. It's just like, that's something you really have to admire, because a lot of times, a lot of actors, they're just like they're like, oh, you don't hear much socialization or anything from them. It's like, it's really nice to see somebody who really cares about the fans.
Gotcha. There, I'm going to add this comment because Willer Schuyler, and I'm going to promote her little gig, or her little podcast called Pillow Talk, which is part of the Hanging with Web show family. If you haven't subscribed, please go to HWWS on your YouTube media and subscribe if you want terrific content. There's a ton of us, Kitchen Killers, the Hanging With group itself, Saturday morning cartoons, Life with Thor, Lights Thunder Action, all these nerd culture. Backtalk with Bauer, yeah. We got tons of this, and Willow Schuyler is part of that team now. Willow says, I prefer seeing him in a sparkly Wonder Woman outfit. So, it is.
Which is one of the, I don't know if it's the Wonder Woman per se, but I know some of the jumpers that he has, or the rompers that he's gotten them because of walking through a con. I know the girl who does them. So he actually, for the first one he commissioned from her from an expo and from the expo hall. And since then, she just keeps making it. So yeah, that just a little fun fact. Those outfits are a convention or a con exhibitor.
I've seen him backstage, and it is interesting because before he goes on, he becomes an actor. in that he's kind of getting in his zone, and I've seen him seriously debate over which pair of sparkly shoes to wear. He's like red or white. I mean, I have seen him because he can't make a decision, and he's not even like asking you what is specific. He's like red or white, red or white, red or white. It's like red, white, white. So, white it is. Boom. Okay, then yeah. So I've seen him. I've seen him in that moment. So that's the amount of care, and again, it's interesting because he's in the zone. You talk to his people. You don't talk to him directly unless he talks to you. So I talked to his handlers and everything else. I've said only 2 words, but it was kind of interesting. Before I introduced him for the first time, there's just this minute and a half where it's just me and him backstage, and I start turning back to him, and he's got the TARDIS dress on under the military coat, and he's just like, I mean, he's just getting his chi going on. And then I started going to him, and I just sort of like give like a thumbs up or whatever to his forehand. And then he asked me, it's like, "Can you see the dress?" And I'm like, "No, you're good." It's like, oh. And he's like, "Okay, that one button's undone." And he was like, and then he was like, "Oh," he's like, "Oh, it's supposed to be." I'm like, "Okay, good, then you're good." You got it. And then I go on out, and then he nails it, and then it's just it's so interesting. I mean, and look at his photo ops.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
No, there's nobody has ever said, "Yeah, my photo op of Barrowman is so boring." Those words have never been spoken in the free world.
Nope. And even then, he's gotten to the point where he knows that certain people want the photo of just him just wearing his, t-shirt and jeans, and that some people want that romper, that dress experience. And he's at that point where he's like, okay, well, my photo ops at 12, I'm going to be wearing this. At 2, I'm going to be wearing this. 5, actually, Scott's here with me, so if you want to take a picture with me and my husband, he'll be in it. And people are like, oh yeah, that's the one I want. So he really does kind of cater his brand to what the consumer wants, and what the fan wants, really.
And again, people usually won't go that extra step, and that's nothing against them. It's just he's all like that. And as a business decision, I'm sure there are people that would buy multiple. I'm sure there are people that want him in a romper and then want him normal, and then there's probably a fan too that, hey, yeah, I want him and his other half. That's 3 in one day, know.
And there's times where his sister Carol has been there, and she is a great author in her own right for like the Torchwood comics, and that they'll do a dual panel. They'll do a dual panel or a dual photo op, and people flying on that. So there's number 4.
Willow says, "I wish I could get him to be my pageant coach when I compete in the pinup pageants. I would not be shocked if he did it. I would not be shocked at all there." And for those who are just joining us, this is our tribute to John Barrowman, who will be premiering at GalaxyCon. Let me get that picture back up over there for those of you who want to look. Get personalized autographs and get a live stream Q&A with John Barrowman. This will take place 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on the 12th. This Saturday? Yeah, this is Saturday. Wow. It's coming up. It's coming up really fast. So you better sign
That's
up.
That's why
now.
I'm here today.
Yeah, exactly. There. And just and I forgot to mention this at the end of the commercial breaks. For those of you who want to sponsor us, this show you're watching for free, but it doesn't come for free. We make it for you, and we take good care of it. And if you want to support us, you can. There are many ways to do it. But if you have a product or something that you would like and to help promote us, that we can help promote you with, advertise with us, and send an email to sage@thehangingwithshow.com or myself, Christian at The Hanging With Show. We do have special tiers, rates, and packaging for you. So just send us a message, tell us what you do, and we'll put your ad on here. We'll be more than happy to. Don't have an ad? We'll create one for you. And some of the ads I do the voices for. So So check us out there. And also, again, go to YouTube. You can check out The Hanging With Show, HWWS Media, if you want the whole thing, the whole kit and caboodle. And don't forget to go to GalaxyCon.com for all the information, for everything that Patty is talking about. And not only that, GalaxyCon still has a lot going on for it, after which Dragon Ball Z.
Well, GalaxyCon is ongoing. It's not. Yeah. We aren't just doing it just this weekend. I mean, this is something that we usually have 3 to 4 things on weekends, and we will usually have something during the week, as well as we have 2 other shows. We have Rock Around the Ring, which is hosted by Kid Cadet, one of our other moderator hosts, and she usually has musical guests or wrestling guests. On Tuesdays, GalaxyCon co-founder Mike Broder and myself, we host GalaxyCon Talks Comics, where we talk to a comic book convention that actually talks to comic book professionals.
What?
Yeah, I know.
We're
enjoyable.
papers, pencilers, the whole actual comics. What the what?
Our guest next week is Fred Hembeck.
Wait. Did he just do? Wait, hold on. I'm trying to remember which run I just saw him at, because I go to Emerald City and I saw something. What was it?
Well, you didn't go to Emerald City this year.
No. It's my local comic shop. My local comic shop.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I'm really excited about that. For those who don't know, Fred Hembeck was one of the original humor fan artists that broke really big in late 70s, early 80s. He had humor strips in DC and Marvel Comics for a very long time. And I'm just very excited to sit down with them and all that. So we have anime guests. And this is another thing that I really like working for this company. They really care to cast a really not only cross fandom, but also I'll say cross generational.
Hope so.
In the sense that, like case in point, we just announced recently, we're doing one with Lindsay Wagner and the $6 Million Man himself, Lee Majors. And not for nothing, who under the age of 40 is going to be excited for that? But I know I am, and I know that there's plenty of fans my age that are like, I told that, put this way, all my childhood friends I sent that out to, and they're like, oh, I'm there. I'm so there. Want to hear the Bigfoot story. Want to hear this way too. But this is what I really appreciate about what we're trying to do at GalaxyCon. We're really trying to cross over to it too. We just announced we have a weekend of classic Doctor Who guests coming up.
Yep. Let me
Saturday and a Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
Let me address this whole thing, because you have on the same day that John, just in case you have another geekdom out there, on the same day that John Barrowman's going to be there, Dragon Ball Z, Smallville. The following day, The Boys, My Hero Academia. The following weekend is Tim Curry. Good God, Tim Curry and the cast of the Rocky Horror Picture Show.
Tim Curry will be available for one-on-one chats and autographs. He will not be a part of the Q&A. But the Q&A will be the Rocky Horror, but I think is that the one Meatloaf's on?
Yes.
Okay, yeah. Meatloaf is joining us. I've hosted the Three Principles before. Kid Cadet is going to be doing that one, and she'll be doing that with Meatloaf, and that's going to be awesome. I'm going to totally be watching that one to see him thrown into the mix. So yeah, but yeah, we've got that really. We had a big Doctor Who weekend coming up as well.
I'll just shout it out: September 26th and 27th, live Doctor Who experience at 12. Eastern Standard Time. Yeah, you have Colin, but you have 3 of the Doctors. You have Colin, Sylvester, which we just had an interview with, and the 8th Doctor, Paul McGinn. You have Strax, you've got Jenny, you've got Perry, you've got.
We got to split up. Wow, we have split up into 2 days. So
yeah, split them in 2 days. But you got them. You got them all there.
Yeah. Well, Saturday we got Colin, Nicola, Katrin Stewart, aka Jenny Flint, Dan Starkey Strax, and Wendy Padbury, Zoe Harlett. And on Sunday we got Sylvester, Paul, Katie, who I adore. And she
That's
kind of a
show.
and Sophie and Terry Malloy, which I'm really psyched, because it's no secret that Davros is my favorite of the Doctor Who antagonists, and Genesis of the Daleks is not only one of the most singularly important Doctor Who stories of all time. The scene where Davros, granted that wasn't Terry Malloy, but the scene when Davros and Tom Baker's Doctor Who were like, "Doctor, stay a moment. Let us not talk as prisoner and captor, but as men of science," where Davros just wants to geek out because he has never met a peer in his entire life, and he's finally found this weird alien that's like, we could like talk about science and stuff, because I don't get a chance to do that. And yeah. And of course, Terry Malloy, he's done some great work as Davros as well too. I mean, he actually has my second favorite scene in Remembrance of the Daleks, when the Emperor Dalek is, well, spoilers, you think the person in the chair is Davros, and then it turns out no, it's just a brainwashed little girl, but Davros is in it as the Emperor Dalek, and
Speaking of, we got a commercial break, our final commercial break. When we return, we're going to wrap up our discussion, our tribute to John Barrowman and GalaxyCon's. Please continue to stay logged on, tune in, and continue to become part of the legend.
Famous Faces and Funnies in Melbourne, Florida is leading the way in pop culture fun. From comic books and graphic novels to Funko Pops and collector's items, Famous Faces and Funnies has it all. Rick Shea and the professional team at Famous Faces and Funnies are friendly and knowledgeable. Whether you're looking for toys, props, collector treasures, or a new comic book, Famous Faces and Funnies is your one-stop shop. To find Famous Faces and Funnies on Facebook and Twitter, just type at FFF Comics.
Meet the Doctor.
I'm the Doctor.
But not the one you were expecting.
All right, sexy. It's time to go home.
Doctor Who Velocity. Streaming now.
If anything you must understand, it is this. If I do not find a cure, my life is forfeit.
Myrta McKinnon, rise. It is your time to participate in the Rite of Wands, in which your soul shall face the ultimate analysis. Do you accede?
Yes. This can't be the way things end.
Heed my advice, young warlock. The future you saw is only a possibility. You will be given the ability to change it.
How?
I suggest you start by studying your father's potion books.
Lachlan the Shreya has come to Iverna. I must focus solely on my work. I am afraid. I do not want to fail.
And the Rite of Wands, written by me, can now be picked up at all major retail locations. Specifically this month, it is on the ebook is on special on sale for $1.99, and you can get a copy of it at http://riteofwands.com.
Well said, Mackenzie. Get your book, The Rite of Wands.
I thought that was an actual commercial.
That was an actual commercial.
What is that? I was like, dude. Oh, hey.
Speaking of commercials, Patty, because there's no good segue over here. Willow continues and says, Patty, I'd love to hang out you over coffee someday.
I can be found at Coffee Shop of Horrors Mondays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays from 2 to close.
The problem is
you have two locations now?
Yes. I'll be found in the one at Mount Bird. There's another one up in I'm drawing a blank.
Tavares. That was their newest location.
Yeah, that's the newest location. That one is a beer and wine license, so knock yourselves out. Once in a while, I will work at that one. It's 30 miles away from my house, so I was just I told Nick, I love you, man, but I can't put 60 miles on my car every day.
Well,
especially not when Mount Bird one is like
it's right there.
Yeah.
Well, the problem with Willow is she's in Canada, so she's got a bit more than some mileage out there. But when you're down here, you got to check out the little coffee shop of ours. There's one that they have like a caramel mix. He's got really one. I actually had my closet. I forgot them. Which one?
Woodberry blend.
Woodberry blend. There you go.
It's got the almost but not enough to get sued Game of Thrones artwork on it.
Oh God. And Willow's a barista at Starbucks. I'm willing to convert.
I'm firmly in my 50s, and I did not expect to become a barista at my age. But like I said, when the world went upside down, and my day job performing at Disney is that there's no auditions because there's no stages because whatever. So hey, it's okay. Hey, anybody doing just okay is doing awesome.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
And we got about 5 more minutes before the end of the show there, folks. So I got one question for each of our panelists over here. You're in front of John Barrowman. You've got one question to ask. So just pretend that you are part of the Q&A. Melanie, what would be that question you would ask John? You get one question. That's it.
I need prep time. No. I mean, that's like saying, what pose do you want to have when you have a photo? No, you need to prep for that stuff.
One question that
yes, because you don't want to. It needs to be good. No, I can't. No, I can't improv that. Sorry.
Oh. It's just like, okay, I have one question for you, and I have subsections of it. All right, Mackenzie, let's see you. You got one question for John Barrowman. You're sitting down there.
Well, for me, and right now it'd be a question that I wouldn't want to ask because I'm sure 50 people in front of me have already asked that question, is when is Torchwood coming back?
I know. Well, it's in Big Finish right now. He's been doing a lot. I still haven't heard the one with Michael Palin. He did a Torchwood episode, and that sounds a little bit weird and off. I saw the advertisement, but I haven't heard it yet. There's so much Torchwood out there right now. It's really, really unnerving there.
Yeah.
How's the puppy? Simple as that. Because I know he came a couple last year. He was walking. He brought his new little puppy to a con. So I'd ask, how's the puppy? Simple as that, and then just let him have an anecdote of what's going on with the dog. Maybe a little fun story.
Yeah. He always
on stage or off stage?
Let's do an off. Your person.
I'd ask him when he got his equity card.
Oh.
And those who don't know, Actors Equity is in the United States. It's like the Screen Actors Guild for professional stage actors. And although curious enough, in the UK, it's actually both. It's actually for stage and as well too. And what you have to do is you have to kind of work towards it. You have to work in amateur theater, and it's a very complex and weird system. But basically, once you kind of put your time in, then you're equity eligible. Oh, okay. And okay, congratulations. Now you're this. Curiously enough, back in the old days, this is great. Patricia Quinn told me this wonderful story about her day starting off was her and several other actresses all used the same equity card to audition. And when they would say, but they would say, "Oh, that's my stage name. My real name, the one you write the checks out to, is Patricia Quinn." If she, they got, and back then, for telecommunication and everything else, you could get away with stuff like that.
Yeah,
so, I just love that.
That's amazing. I wonder, do they have anything like the Taft Hartley over here, where you could be like a background 3 times and then you can kind of get your SAG card? I don't think so.
I think I see. Here's the weird bit. As an equity Disney performer, you're kind of backdoored in. The second you get signed to a stage, they immediately say, "Okay, here's all the stuff you want to sign up and blah 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 and all that." So it's very curious and not as well known in the acting communities as people think. But for me, though, it's always been a great icebreaker. Because I'll just say, well, I'm an equity actor, etc. And then the celebrity's like, "You're equity?" With a little bit of suspicion, like, where did you hear that word? It's almost literally like, how do you know about that? So, and then we can talk shop for a little bit. And again, anything that'll make them as comfortable with me as possible, as opposed to, I've seen every episode. In some cases, I have, but
close to the vest.
Gotcha. Patty, we got a minute left, so here's your thing. Please let people know where you can find it. I put GalaxyCon.com is probably the best place to do it, but where else?
Absolutely.
Where else could they find it? Could they go to the Facebook page?
GalaxyCon.com. It's information. You can find listings on all the social media. And if you want to check out some of the stuff we've done before, GalaxyCon has a YouTube channel, so you can see some of the stuff that we've done. You can also see lots of stuff from our live shows, our programming from that, our costume contests. A lot. You can see the depth of the programming both online in our online format and in our physical format, and you can see. Again, we really try to cast that wide net. We really try to give a little bit of something for everybody, as well as daytime content, family-friendly content, and some stuff for the big kids later on at night, and
Barrowman in a dress.
Yeah, well, a lot of people dress. But the main thing is that I would love for this audience out here to come and join us because not necessarily all of our panels do make it on YouTube. Certain guests do have some contractual things that it's a one and done. So and I honestly don't know what Mr. Barrowman's status is going to be. So, and I'm not trying to say tune in because it'll never happen again. I'm just saying is I can't guarantee it'll roll over. I mean, our William Shatner ones do not roll over. That's a one and done. Which again is just like, no, really, I've been on TV with William Shatner. Sure, you have. Yeah. So, but yeah, please join on in, and I'm hoping it'll be a lot of fun, and I hope you'll join us, and I hope I can be reading off one of your questions to him.
Well, folks, we got to end the audio version of this show. Thank you so much for joining us. For those of you who are watching us on the live feed, the after party is about to begin. Again, thank you so much. Go to GalaxyCon.com for all information, for all updates, for everything, to watch Patty perform his hosting duties. And we want to thank Mike Baroder for bringing Patty over here and just bringing GalaxyCon to life, because it's been a phenomenal ride, and I don't see that ride coming off anytime soon. Again, folks, please continue to stay safe, wash your damn hands, and continue to become part of the legend. Thanks for joining us. And folks, thank you for joining us at the after party. If you have any further questions about GalaxyCon and questions for Patty, anything about John Barrowman, we did a little tribute to him. Please, by all means, get your chats into the comments out there.
I want to bring up the
Go
eBay.
for it, Melanie.
The eBay.
Okay.
The GalaxyCon uses the eBay to sell the awesome things, such as, which I just got because I signed up for the little newsletter, as many of you should be doing so if you haven't done it. But all the little placards behind a con where you see the photos of the 2 feet by 2 feet of the star's name. Well, GalaxyCon put a bunch of those ones out there and had them autographed. So for our Doctor Who people, there's a David Tennant one there, and there's a Christopher Eccleston one out there. Last checked, I saw the Eccleston one was at $300. But maybe if you have the pocket change and are having a good time right now, you can treat yourself to something fun.
I was about to say, by the way, Eccleston really is everything you would hope he would be in person. And the thing is, I wouldn't have held it against him if he wasn't.
Mm-hmm.
I was so genuinely nervous to approach him first time I got to host him, and it was in the green room, and he was like trying to figure out how to use the coffee machines. Oh, let me set that up for you. This way too. And I'm like, oh, it works just like that. And I was like, oh, okay, great. It's like, oh, by the way, my name's Patty. I'll be doing. He goes, oh, great, Chris. And I was like, oh, okay. And then we hit it off for a bit and just chatted for a while and comfortable. And then I think it was the next day, that Saturday, we hit it, and he was just wonderful. If you want to get him to light up, ask him questions about music. He's a very passionate music fan, especially Prince.
Oh, really?
Yes, he's a huge Prince fan.
Holy crap! I would have never ever guessed that.
I would have sworn he was in like. He struck me as somebody who would be in like Motorhead or somebody like that, I would have pictured him as like, oh yeah, Lubby, he's awesome, but no, he's.
Well, I thought he'd be Bowie and Beatles, because he did a Beatle movie. He played John. I think he played John Lennon in one movie, if I'm not mistaken. There, I think
in a Capaldi, he played.
No. It was no. I know which movie you're talking about. No,
okay.
He played John Lennon and somebody. I could have sworn the girl who plays Tosh in Torchwood was Yoko Ono. It was. I'll look it up. I'll look it up in a second.
I'm drawing a blank on that. Sorry.
No, you're fine. I'll look it up real fast. But because you and I, or at least you had the opportunity. Yeah. You told Chris you need to do Big Finish, and I think you had 2 interviews with him. I think, right?
I said that. I think I ended it with I didn't say he should. I just said that might be something to explore. I said basically it was like I said like, look, we all loved your time on it, and we would love to see you return to the role, but only under conditions that you agree to. And that's so I let it to him on stage.
But when you finally heard that he actually did it, what was your first impression about that? What was your reaction on that?
I was like, good on you. I was like, good on you. And I know that Big Finish there's a degree of, correct me if I'm wrong, but there's a degree of separation between them and the BBC.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I think that degree obviously fell within Eccleston's comfort level. So, So, and I'm glad they agreed to terms and stuff like that. I mean, I remember going all the way back to my very first Doctor Who panel with McGann and Eric Roberts, and McGann was teasing Roberts to do Big Finish.
I remember that.
Like, come on, Eric Roberts. I don't know, man. I might check that out. He's like, he like in person. He talks like Matt, the way he talks for real. Like the way Matthew McConaughey acts.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Speaking of, I think I might have that. Hold on. Do I have it up here?
Are you going to be like Christian and start just pulling out CDs and just like, here's my Big Finish?
Yeah.
Yeah. No.
Like the whole set.
I do have it. I do have it up here. Okay.
And there we go. This is found it. Here we go. Boom.
Yep, got it.
Naked.
Oh.
And
wow.
literally, I remember the promo shot. I think it was the girl who played Tosh and Chris were both naked. I think that was the promo shot.
Oh, right on.
So
actually sells that very well. All right.
There we go.
Christian knows this before.
2010, so...
Yes!
Yeah.
Yes! I remember that. I remember that very well. I remember the picture. I'll see if I can find the picture, but it was like...
I use the longer one where he's like, I always dress for the occasion. That was the first one I did. I was just like, I am Canical, and there is nothing you can do about it.
And then he goes and does Big Finish, which I was like, thank God. It's like, about time that you did it. But I get the feeling, I don't know if he did it voluntarily or he's just like, okay, I got some spare time. I'll do this. So I was like,
I think he, again, it's everybody's own capricious manner, sometimes it's time. Sometimes they may just not quite even quite understand it. They're like, I don't do audiobooks. And somebody's got to take the time to sit down with them and explain, no, it's audio drama. It's this, it's just getting there, sometimes it's schedule.
Yeah.
And not only that, but I remember there is an audio out there. I haven't heard, but I think it was a River song. And it is Alex Kingston and Eric Roberts. And they're interacting. It's the moment that takes place where he was supposed to have been like, digested by the TARDIS, and he has survived somehow.
Mm-hmm.
And just the interaction between those two is absolutely funny. It was great, and I was just like, wow, it's Alex Kingston and Eric Roberts in Doctor Who together. What a surreal moment! You're never going to see that. I don't think that's ever happened anywhere. So it was cool.
I know it's controversial, and it's nothing against John Hurt, but that scene where what I did, the name of peace and sanity, I really wanted Stream of the Shalka Doctor to be the one that turned around, because I would have lost my mind.
But it would have made sense. It's just like there's this divergent timeline that because poor Richard E. Grant was 9 for 5 minutes before they took it away from him.
I really love Grant and Grant. I think Grant could really played that sinister edge. I think again, and we talked about this last time about how the War Doctor just wasn't what I thought he was supposed to be.
Right.
But 6 of one, half dozen of another. It's all good.
Speaking of that convention, here it is. Here's the picture that I had to.
Yeah.
It's always Paul, who they were sitting right next to each other. You can see their banners right next to each other. And at one point, they didn't have a line at all. And I went up to Paul and I said, Paul, can you go over to Eric? I would love to have a picture of you two fighting over this. And he literally grabs the TARDIS, runs over to Eric, and goes, come on, Eric, please, let's do this. Eric's like, I don't know if I'm going to do that. And they finally got up, and Eric was just like, you could see like mentally kicking and screaming like, okay, I'll just do it this one time. And that's what eventually came in the outcome. But Paul is just like a cheerleader. I just love him. I mean, if the fans ask, he'll do it. So
Paul do that same way where if the second he's out on the convention floor and he's not backstage, he's on stage, he's up, and he's ready to go for just damn near anything. Within it's pretty well.
It was so weird because it was exactly 5 years. It was 5 years to like almost the day that when I hosted Paul just a few weeks ago, along with Christopher, along with McCoy and Colin, that SuperCon we did. It was like, my God, 5 years ago I started my career with SuperCon and GalaxyCon. This, and 5 years later we're here again, And my boss like, really? He goes, yeah. Because the funny story about that was I wasn't supposed to be on stage for that.
Oh, what?
No, what had happened was the girl, the lady that was running the Doctor Who track, she was basically assigned to, okay, you moderate the Doctor Who guest. She didn't feel 100% comfortable with that, and so she asked me to kind of co-host with her, but she didn't tell the higher ups or whatever. So I did Simon Fisher Becker, which is wonderful, lovely man, and Christian, you've had him on several times.
He's on our show. He is a panelist.
He's a panelist.
Yeah, he's a doll. He's an absolute. He's a big squishy gay teddy bear. And then, but the main stage one was it was Eric and Paul, and she asked me to go on up there, and she asked me, could you write some questions for me? I was like, yeah, sure. So I'd sort of. And I was still trying to figure it out, and I still haven't seen it. I know I took way too much time. I should have turned over the questions, but things were pretty good. I had some funny minute moments. He talked. Paul said a throwaway line about being in Queen of the Damned. So like, oh yeah, that's right, Queen of the Damned. Have you met King of the Gypsies? And Eric Roberts like, oh man, you go way back in my career. So it was fun, but she didn't tell the higher ups, and then backstage it was everything. I think it was everything seemed well, no complaints. Then backstage was cool, and I saw the owner, Mike, and he was just like standing there by himself. And I was like, I know of this guy, but I've never actually met him. So I walked up to him and said, you're Mike, right? He goes, yeah, I just want to say thank you much for the opportunity. And Julia is let me know that too. And he's like, oh, okay. And then I left it at that, walked away. And then it wasn't until like 2 years later, we're hanging out in his office. And I was like, hey, first time we met, were you pissed because you didn't know you were going to be on stage with my guests? Oh, hell no. Where it's like, first time I saw you, I was like, who the hell is that on stage with my Doctor Who guests?
Well, that's how it works. That's how it works out sometimes, because MegaCon Fan Days was the same thing. It was, and I don't want to say the name of the person who had me go up and interview Paul, but it was one of those things where everybody on the staff was like, and the person who was talking to me, I won't say the name, but because that person's still working, but the person came up to me and said, none of us know anything about Doctor Who, and you are the experts.
No, you were the best fit for that.
Yeah, it just went up on stage, and Paul, and one of the things I wanted to make sure was to mention Big Finish. And Paul was so like enamored. He was like, you know all this stuff? And I've been listening to it. And he goes, and after a while, he just turned to me and goes, you know what? You should be a salesman for Big Finish. They should hire you.
Yeah, fair enough.
It was, but it was just like, that was one of the best compliments, because it's like, well, I did my job. I wanted to get your name out there for people who didn't know, and make sure that they knew that was your bread and butter at the time, because I don't know if you were doing anything at the time, but he was happy. He was ecstatic. Yeah. And I got to thank Patty at the time. I think you were the one who got me the hat.
Yes.
We got, for those of you who weren't there at the MegaCon, it was the week after his birthday, and he had already celebrated a birthday at a con. So when I was asked to host Paul McGann, I said, we want to make it something very special for him. So we got him a birthday cake. I got him a traveling TARDIS, put on the birthday cake, happy birthday to Paul. And then I said, in traditional Florida type style here. And we got him, and there is a picture somewhere out there on the traveling TARDIS with him wearing a Mickey Mouse hat and his name on it there. So, that was just amazing. But those are the things and I'm sure those are the things that you remember the most about.
The nice thing is that he also said at the end, "Who wants some of this cake?" And he was actually cutting out pieces and handing them to the fans. Oh,
yeah, I had pieces because he was just cutting. He's like, "Who wants cake?" And he was just dishing out cake.
And somebody that saw one of our panels, who was very critical of them that weekend. I forget, but anyway, they kind of lambasted us on social media and very unfairly. She also was like, "Paul McGann had a cake. It was yummy." And it's just like, I almost wanted to say, "Hey, us, the evil Doctor Who podcasters, that cake was from us." Ooh, but I resisted that temptation.
I got him Publix brand. Nothing but the best in Florida.
That was from us. So, I just remember one other interesting thing that actually came out of that thing with Paul and so that was a moment that will never be equaled between me and Billy D. Williams. He was the next panel going on, and so after I talked to Mike, and I was like, I had my suspicions, like maybe he doesn't know his butt, okay, but he didn't chew my head off or whatever. So I'm walking by and I grab a drink, and Billy Williams is backstage, and he's in a wheelchair, and he's just and there's nobody around him. No, he's not a handler, not an agent, no anything. He's just sort of sitting there, just chilling. He's got one of those really cool, like, African carved walking sticks. It was really, really awesome. But he's just sitting there in a wheelchair, just like this. So I kind of like walk by him, and so he's kind of facing off in this direction, and I'm walking this direction. And then I get a few feet away, and then I just I turn around to him, and I was like that, I didn't say anything, didn't say hi, everything else. I was just like, go get him, boss. That attitude. I didn't say a word. It's like, go get him. And he just sort of looked up, saw my little salute, and he just raised his stick like this. Didn't change the expression. He was like, I was like, I will never have a moment like that as perfect as that with Billy D. Williams. That's good. That's my Billy D. Williams moment. That was a quiet little thing, and I was like, I'm okay with that. I'm absolutely okay with that. So, so that was fun. And then there was silence. Okay, so maybe it wasn't that exposed. All right.
No, I just remember what was it 1 year that we there was 1 year where they had all these Doctor Who celebrities on at MegaCon, and they all canceled out at the same time. And the only thing Doctor Who that was Doctor Who related at all was us, you and I, and a couple other people helping out. And that was it. And I mean, it was nice to see actually we had panels that were standing room only. Because unfortunately, they were coming to see 4 celebrities that all canceled like right in a row.
All of them? Or
yeah, it was. I think it was all the Ponds. I think it was like they had all the Ponds, and I think Jenna Coleman, and all of them canceled.
But wasn't Tennant still going to be there?
No, I truly think it was just a thing of Ponds because they had.
I remember
they had Alex. They had.
How long ago was it?
It was a while back. I would say like 4 or 5 years.
Okay. Yeah, because I went to, this was a couple of years ago, I went to a Wizard World, and Arthur actually canceled the day of, and I was in line, and we're like, oh wow. Cancel.
I remember I remember the one I remember the one that Tennant was a guest, but he was just I think it was just a Saturday, Sunday, but this is Friday night, and we did a Tennant appreciation panel. Yeah. And that was just basically a pep rally. And that was a lot of fun. I remember that one was really good because that was just like the okay, favorite Tennant episode. Panelists go. Now, who else has got one they want to share with us? And we're doing the crowd, everything else, and just a really, really, really good one. I really liked the debate that we did Tennant versus Smith, the final debate.
Oh, I would love to have heard that.
Oh, it was.
Well, I said we set some rules, and the idea was okay. Here's the deal: you approach the microphone, and we separated. Okay, if you're on the Smith side, go over there. You're on the Tennant side, go there. And I set some rules. I was like, I was going to be the chairperson. You come on up and you say something. And if I think you make a valid point, you get a point for your side. However, you can only speak for your doctor. You can't rag on the other doctor. So you only and I said that at the top. I saw like half the audience was like, oh. And not from like disappointment, but it was like, oh, I gotta change everything,
Yeah, their strategy just got thrown out the window. Like,
hey, what doctor wears Chuck Taylors?
And correct me if I'm wrong, but I think when they did the separation, it's like 2/3 of the room went Tennant, 1/3 went Smith, or something. We had like an uneven number.
Yeah,
so we're like, I don't know what we do here.
But our friend and spiritual advisor Richard.
Yeah,
he was the only one that spoke for both. He came up and he said something positive about Tennant, and then he went over to the other side, and then he got in line, then he came up and said something for Smith.
I would be the one to do that too.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, this was and Christian and I used to talk about this. I'm sure you guys talk about it too, about how the pattern of, and it really reached that fever pitch though between the Smith and the Tennant fans of just you're all going through the change. You're all going through the first change. You fell in love with a doctor, and then that doctor went away, and you're really resenting the doctor that replaced him. But when you get to the doctor that replaced your doctor, you'll be scarred up like the rest of us, and you'll be in the mix if you stick around that long. Some people, but I worked with at Disney. I worked with an actress, and she was she made out airs that she was the greatest Doctor Who fan in the world, and really she was a David Tennant fan, and she would not give Smith the time of day. If he was drowning, I don't think she would throw him a life preserver. Oh my god! but I don't think she'd give anybody a life preserver. But that's just what she was. That's the metal of. And again, it's okay to be a Tennant Doctor Who fan as opposed to a Doctor Who fan. That's the weirdness about this franchise. And we saw it with Star Trek. It's okay if you just like regular series. It's okay to love just Discovery. It's okay to love as much or little as you want. The biggest thing in fandoms right now is they're getting older and bigger and wider and advanced. Is that you don't have to like everything at the buffet, guys.
Right.
Yeah. You don't. Just don't get pissed off if somebody like, how could you eat spinach, cream spinach? Ew. It's like, who cares?
So the whole fish fingers and custard, like, you eat fish fingers and custard? I'm like, yeah, I did fish fingers and custard before. It was cool on Doctor Who. I would do fish fingers and chocolate pudding. That's what I still do.
I'm a pass on that.
No.
Mackenzie,
what you do in your spare time?
Yeah.
Before it became famous on Who?
I do the fries and the Frosty, but that's about as far.
I do the frost.
Yeah, I'll do that.
I'm that person too.
it may be an episode to revisit, but I remember a long time ago we had an episode where what was it? I forgot the title, or something like what makes you a Whovian or something of that nature. You remember that, Melanie? Yeah, we discussed what makes you a Whovian, and I think we came to the consensus. It's not somebody coming in and saying you're a Whovian. It's you saying I'm a Whovian, and it doesn't matter what you could like one book in Doctor Who, one virgin novel.
I'm very anti-gatekeeping. So if you want to say I'm a Whovian, all right, welcome aboard.
Exactly. That I think if you remember a while back, Patty, I don't know if you were on the panel, but this was a while back. I think it was the last SuperCon I'd done, or the one before that. No, it was the one before that. There were those two women, and this is kind of what this spawned off the show. There were two women in the back room. Yeah.
You've told me about it, but I don't think I was there for that. Or was that the one I showed up late and was like piss drunk?
Maybe the latter.
if that was the Capaldi weekend, I think that was the very last one. And Yeah, it was like late Sunday night, and at that point, I was finally like, okay, everything's done. It's like, please give it. I hear you've earned this whiskey. Yes, I have.
No, it was the two women in the back. They wouldn't say a word during the whole panel. They were afraid to even put up their hands. They weren't, and they waited until the end of the panel. They walked up to me and said, "We want to talk to you. We trust you. We want to, we don't want Jodie Whittaker as the doctor." And I said, "This is really unfair. That people can't just express their opinion and not feel that they're going to get ripped apart." And I said, "Give it a chance." Okay, yes, because I went back next year. That was the year that I was with your. I can't remember her name. The puppet woman.
Oh, Kathleen David.
Kathleen David.
Kathleen O'Shea David.
O'Shea, yeah.
Wife of Peter David, writer of stuff.
Gotcha. But when we did the panel, those two girls were in the back. And I did the questioning again. I asked who enjoyed, do you enjoy Jodie? And their hands went up. And I'm like, okay. But we gave them a chance. That's all I could ask. And I was like, and it was the same thing that I learned from you. If you don't like what's going on, I give you 3 episodes. You don't like what's going on, she's going to be out in 3 or 4 years. I'll see you when you get back. So that's the thing. And I think we've kind of lost that in the universe. Willow says, I think I've joined all the Doctors so far. From what I've seen, they bring something new to each character, and they have their own charm. Yeah, oh yeah.
I agree. Except Peter Davison, because he took away Tom Baker.
How could he?
Yeah, I'm still pissed.
He doesn't have curly hair or a scarf. He's got a celery.
But I will absolutely cop to it. I had serious antipathy to Peter Davidson. So that's one thing when I talk to people about your doctor being taken away. I'm there. I'm there. I'm with you. It's like, and trust me, if you stay in the mix and you keep going, go back. 10 years later, I really revisited Peter Davidson, and I really was like, okay, I was my feelings were colored. Yeah, I mean, sure, time flight, but Ursha, there are more good Peter Davidson stories besides Earthshock and Caves of Androzani. There are more than just those two.
Yeah, Mawdryn Undead.
I
liked it. I know it's an acquired taste, but I liked it. I mean,
I'm never a fan when somebody comes after the Doctor himself. I prefer the Doctor to be the fly in somebody's ointment and screwing up somebody else's plan and stuff like that. Yeah, but that's a question of taste. That's what it is. Yeah,
no, I like the Turlo stories. I like the light and the dark guardian, the white and the dark black guardian. I love those.
I think the other thing about Mawdryn Undead which pissed me off was when the people from Turlo's race showed up. I guess it was the guy who was like, "Why would you salute a superior officer or something?" Okay, why didn't we see the part where the guy walked in the TARDIS and was like, "What the hell?"
we got past that.
No. You don't walk into the TARDIS. No character walks into the TARDIS unless they're Cybermen or serious unflappable bad guys. Know where to get into. No, you walk into it. It's big. Yeah, where's the? Wait a minute.
Nobody just walks into the TARDIS. Nobody simply walks into the.
Nobody
TARDIS
just walks into the TARDIS do. Which is still one of Capaldi's best moments of all time. It's bigger on the inside. my every thought of the universe has been changed. God, I love that story so much because I like River Song. I think she was the best. It was just nice to see the tables turned on her, and I don't see that for Summer Revenge. It was just nice to see. Okay, boom. Now you're the one finally being played with a little bit.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I loved it. And also there were just those moments, especially with when he just flat out says it and said, "Not bad for a doctor," and she goes, "Yes," and walks away. He goes, "Seriously? Yeah. You haven't gotten it yet?" I mean, just those things. Alex and Peter really worked together on that one.
Mm-hmm.
I think some of the best moments. And nothing against Matt, but I think they had a better chemistry than Matt and Alex. And it's not that they didn't have one, but it was just taken to the next level with Peter and the way he was handling things there, or creepy dolls. Oh, okay.
Creepy dolls, what? The Master's Victims?
Yeah, probably. Well, we are at the 90th minute, folks. Thank you for joining us.
That was fast.
I know.
It was wait, what?
So, guys, let me go ahead and bring that back up one last time. And thank you, Melanie, for bringing that up. This is September the 26th and 27th. We've got a little double feature going on that weekend. Doctor Who, everybody practically. What you see is what you get in there. So it's taking place Saturday, September 26th and 27th. Go to GalaxyCon.com. And this weekend, September the 12th, Saturday at 2 p.m., John Barrowman, live Q&A, free. You do have to sign up. Please make sure you go to GalaxyCon and sign up first. Otherwise, if you just show up, you're going to have a hard time.
Because you need the link.
You need the link. And then you get, if you need personal autographs, there should be a purchase there. And I think that's it, folks. Thank you so much for joining us again. We'll have another episode next week. Also, the Traveling TARDIS is back. And he's going to be traveling again very shortly. He will be traveling. I promise you. There's going to be new pictures. Yep, he's going to be going out.
He needs a mask.
Yeah, he does. We got to get him one. It's going to be interesting to get him a mask. But he will be traveling again. And we're also, all of October, we're doing specials. Oh, thanks, Willow. Thanks for another entertaining show. Thank you. We're going to be doing Halloween from October 1st, the 31 days of Halloween for the Legend of the Traveling TARDIS, all the pictures that you come known to come and love. We're basically turning the Traveling TARDIS into one big Halloween fiesta with movie clips from Doctor Who, favorite movies like Young Frankenstein, music. It's just going to be a plethora of just Halloween stuff that we're going to be doing, and we're going to have old classic clips. Unfortunately, we don't have a Halloween Horror Nights or anything, but you're going to see some new spooky stuff with the Traveling TARDIS very shortly, and some of the classic stuff that we have out there. What's up?
Turner Classic Movies for the month of October. They always do a celebrity of the month. So every Monday they do a whole marathon. And for October, it's Peter Cushing. And yes, the second Monday, I believe, Doctor Who and the Daleks and Daleks Invasion Earth. If anybody hasn't seen it yet, every Whovian should see it once.
Yes,
should absolutely see it once. It's its own parallel universe Doctor Who bubble, you know.
Yeah.
But I remember when I heard about it and they finally showed it at my local market, and I was like, I think the only thing that really irked me was the fire extinguisher blasters. That was it. Everything else was. I was like, yeah, I can go with this. I'm cool. That and calling him Doctor Who.
Yeah, he's Doctor Who. He's human.
Yeah.
He actually really has a granddaughter, and what was it? Oh yeah, and the theme song is not the da 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 da. It is just a really like bad 60s acid trip. That's all I could say there. Even the intro has that like that glowy thing, that bubble lamp thing or whatever. You know what I'm talking about, right? Lava lamp. The lava lamp like intro. It just really is just like you're expecting that theme song and it goes. I'm like,
yeah,
what the hell is this? What am I watching? It's not Doctor
An attempt. That's what it was. It was an attempt.
I would really like to see that the TV series somehow pay homage to Peter Cushing's Doctor and somehow make it almost canon.
They did. They were the Paradigm Daleks, and I'm still. I'm
You like the taste of the rainbow
You're
doll.
a bunch of Philistines for not going along with it.
You like the Skittles. You like the rainbow flavor. I didn't care. I was just like, okay, this is different, but now I got to buy this now.
and I did. I don't know. Like I said, if I ever have the opportunity, I'll still explore the eternal Dalek. The idea of because the yellow one, because it was only one. It was like there was the Dalek Supreme, which is the white one, but they also said Dalek Eternal, which was kind of, and they said early on they were inferring it's like the equivalent of a Dalek Pope, and they left it at that because they were like, well, if we have to use it later on to explain something or whatever, but they never went through that trapdoor, so why not?
Right. Yeah.
I'd rather somebody explore that than try to explain the Valiard or or the Morbius doctors. We can see where that's brought us.
Power Ranger Daleks, I guess.
Yeah.
Oh, where did Melanie go?
Okay, look, the regular Daleks are fine too.
They do need maybe I don't know. I wasn't sure how I was gonna like the Paradigm Daleks, and then I saw them and it was just like, okay, they are Skittles, but I don't know. I'm so happy with the new design that was used in Dalek. I don't know. It's just like the one that looks the one that was used in Revolution, which looks like a Dalek on Slim Fast. I kind of do like. I kind of did like the Dalek was made up from the ground up, but it was just and it had missiles that came out of the Dalek bumps.
Yeah,
just some really weird stuff. But it was just like, I don't know. He's got Slim Fast on, but hey, it's to each their own. There, I cosplay Elvira too. Okay.
Oh really?
That's it. Well, she wants to meet you for coffee, sir. There you go.
I don't have a passport, so
there you go. Neither do I. So Willow, you're gonna have to come down to Florida.
Well, when you live in Orlando, like you and I do,
yeah,
we have the advantage that most people end up in our neighborhood eventually.
Exactly.
Almost too much. I can't tell you how many people I've known that I haven't seen in a while. It's like, hey, we're here for Disney, what, and like right now, and like just like drop everything and go join them for dinner, or spend the whole day with them at the parks. I'm like, I need like a week. Heads up, guys.
No, that's a fair, because I have relatives who, and I used to have a friend who would come down. And he would go, "Are you available this weekend?" I'm like, "No, I already got things planned out." And he would be driving, saying, "Yeah, well, I'm heading down there. We got the family. Just let me know what day." I'm like, "I'm going to a convention, dude. This is something you're supposed to tell me ahead of time, not on the way down to Florida when you're like 5 minutes, like 5 hours away going up there." I'm just like, oh.
I can relate to that. My father-in-law, now that he's in a different facility now, so we don't have that issue, but it was for a long period of time. He would literally call, be like, he was in a cabin that was like 3 hours from where I am, and be like, okay, and it'd be a Friday, I'm coming down, I'll be there in 3 hours. Like, I'm going to Chicago this weekend.
Yeah, exactly. Like, did you want me to be a part of your plans? It's not going to happen this weekend. It might not happen next weekend.
What you got there?
What I got here is in its VHS and its Blockbuster Video previewed glory. What's that say?
Daleks Invasion.
Oh,
yes,
nice.
It's the Peter Cushing one.
Nice.
I'm a sad VHS collector, so yeah. Here's my Peter Cushing.
Yeah, no, there's not. I know some people, I think I myself included, I think I still have a few things on VHS that for some weird reason I can't, I feel dirty if I throw it away. I was just like, I don't even have a VCR anymore.
No,
I know. Well, hang on one second. Hang on.
My VHS, the VCR is gone, but I have a ton of the VHS. I just have them. It's sad. I still have one that's brand new and it's wrapped the 5 Doctors VHS because I just can't get rid of it.
Yeah,
I covet this thing.
I threw some stuff away. I did throw some VHS stuff away a while ago, and unfortunately, one of them was a Roger Moore movie, Folks, which I actually had him autograph, and I'd forgotten about it. It just ended up in the wrong bag, and I was just like, oh.
You want to see something obscure? I mean, really obscure, and I can't throw it away either.
Over here. Oh, good God!
Wow.
God.
Yeah, exactly. The Zero Imperative.
Oh God! Now she's going to go get her VHS copies of The Stranger.
It's going to be like the Big Finish panel all over again. Okay, let me get all these Big Finish stuff. Yeah, I just love the fact that I could actually not only talk about it, I said I could show you that I actually had this. I'm not just looking at my rear. I've actually listened to this there.
I don't know if I can bring that camera over.
I think you'll have to.
Let's say, oh, this is just gonna get weird.
Oh.
Nah, won't fit. Damn it. Oh, well. I get to see my art room instead. All right. Putting you back before everyone throws up. Oh, well. Oh, that's too high.
Here you go, Blue.
No,
Back
it's
home.
just literally the case of everything.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah.
I still have a few I think I still have the Doctor Who TV movie on VHS. I don't think I've got it on CD yet.
Two VHS.
Well, again, I
autograph. Who knows?
I always recommend everybody watch the McGann movie DVD for the extras, because the extras are amazing. The journey that it took, you realize how much of a friggin' miracle it was that it got to begin with, and just how much the BBC wanted to still throws McCoy under the bus.
Mm-hmm.
It's like that one beastly woman for the BBC. It's just like, we don't know why he wanted to use Mr. McCoy. After all, he was the one who killed Doctor Who. I'm like, what are you talking about?
I'm not.
It's just all the crazy stuff about how we were gonna remake it. We're gonna start it off, and the Doctor was gonna leave Gallifrey in search of his lost father.
Ooh.
I remember that. Oh my god.
The plan was, and they were gonna remake. They were gonna cherry pick and remake best story. So they were gonna redo Talons of Wang Chiang. And then some of the other classic ones and stuff. And I was just like, the Doctor doesn't.
You don't touch the talent of Wang Chiang. You leave that alone. I don't care.
Well, by itself and for other reasons of social and political climate.
I get if you want to throw a disclaimer saying, hey, today's society, we're a little different, but just back in 1970 something, this was completely different, then I will agree to that. But
I am not afraid to go the business of it may be the wrong kind of person playing that type of character, but I think that character, even as a villain, had a lot of dignity to him, and certainly died with a lot of dignity.
Mm-hmm.
For especially and a lot of sympathy too, especially since that this guy was doing some really villainous stuff for Magnus Greel, the butcher of Barcelona.
There we go. Nice.
I'm pathetic, but yeah, for those still watching, let's see if it can zoom. It probably won't.
Not very well.
And I was still hoping for someday that they were going to do a fourth Doctor figure in his Talons of Wang Chiang garb, and it never happened.
Oh yeah, that would be.
Are you serious? They've never done it yet?
No, I would have that, and for Leela and her little page boy, I'd kill for a box set. Yeah, a box set of them and Jago and Lightfoot. That would be a four box set. I would have bought that day one. But I'm not sure. It's still Underground Toys, right?
I think so.
Yeah.
Underground Toys has it here, and is it B&M has it overseas.
Yeah, but they're not, as they just I know that I just saw recently they showed some new ones, some new classic ones. I'm there's no way to get them over here without paying direct from UK. It's there's no US
unless you know somebody over there that can ship it over, or if you're going over there, for vacation. And even
Christian, if you have any listeners over in the UK that really want their question for Mr. Barrowman asked of him,
hint people.
No, I will not abuse my authority. and again, I don't have any authority. It's a whole nother team, and they just shuffle, and whatever I get.
Well, we can put it this way, but if you feel the urge to ask, we're encouraging it.
I forget what it was, but whatever it was something that I was mildly curious with. I don't know. Fell behind on it. Also, they changed the scale a little bit. Instead of 110 or something, they went to a 111. It was put it this way, the caretaker Tom Baker figure is just a little bit out of scale with all the other ones. which drives me insane.
Oh my god, it is.
Yeah,
I never noticed that because
it is. It goes. It went from 110 to like 1.9, I think, and I'm like, this for me that makes it incompatible. Because I have a huge action figure guy, and they have to. Yeah, you can't have the carrot. Yeah, no, it's gotta be. Yeah,
it's gotta be the right height.
Well, they gotta be in proportion to each other, otherwise it just looks wonky.
That's probably
especially if you hold him up against another fourth Doctor, and he's not really in.
Yeah, I mean, there's some superhero ones I can place them. Okay, the bigger ones that are 1/7 scale as opposed to 1/12 scale, I can move them a little further in the back so to the perspective. But but the caretaker figure it's just big enough to piss me off. Yeah.
Nope, I get you.
Yeah, I'm so sorry I pointed that out to you. Now you're going to see.
Because it's something my husband must have noticed because he is over on that shelf, but all the other figures are on that shelf. And my husband's very much he's the one that taught me when we go looking at action figures back when like McFarlane first started making McFarlane toys. We were there at the freaking Walmart 2:00 in the morning looking at paint applications. And then looking for variants, and then looking for what was the short box. And so I understand. And that's the one thing about getting like an import. I can't tell what the paint application is going to be. So I don't know if there's anything wrong with the nose, or if there's anything wrong, if the eye's off, or I want to be able to do it. I would go nuts.
Yeah, McFarlane actually. And McFarlane just got the DC license, and he is driving me crazy because all of his DC stuff is larger from all the other superhero lines, and that's actually specific because his attitude is that, well, if my favorite character is Batman, then Batman should be bigger than everybody else. I'm like, no,
because if you're setting up dioramas or scenes, or just go with the freaking. If you're a child and want to play with them, they're not going to make sense in the world of a child playing. Yeah, you're doing it for an adult, but still.
Yeah, I'm just sort of like, but it's okay though, because all he's doing is Batman related stuff. And when Mattel had the DC license, I loved it for DC Universe Classics because they're golden age characters. I mean, for crying out loud, I have a Commanding. And I have figures that I have the Metal Men, and the original Doom Patrol characters I never thought I would have, and I'm like, yeah, I'm good. So, Melanie is going to take up.
Yeah, I am. I'm literally eyeballing the curator and a fourth Doctor right now because it's kind of close together, and I'm trying. Yeah, I'm so tempted just to like crawl over this desk to get over to it.
But by the same token, I don't want somebody to get the license to start all over again because I do like that line of figures. It wasn't the best, but it was the best we've got so far, and I'm willing to say, I'm good with you guys getting the license and keep going. I don't want to have to start off all over again, and I don't do dolls because I can't stand cloth. To me, it's like I like rubber and plastic capes. Thank you.
No, I get that because a cloth sometimes if it's not right, especially the type of thread they got to do. I mean, I'll be honest, I do like Big Chief stuff, but lately I'm not so happy with what Big Chief's doing sculpt wise. Like I'm seeing like some of the prototypes come out. I'm like, oh, that looks amazing. Wonder what the run with the paint application, and then it just changed.
Yeah,
that's not worth.
If they really do,
hundreds of dollars.
Put it this way, the Hasbro stuff, 1/112, if anything's real cloth, it's like ugh, because they look like they're wearing camouflage netting because the thread count is just to their wrong as this too. As opposed to I only have 2 Hot Toys figures, but that's all cloth. I have the Adam West Batman and the Burt Ward Robin, and that's cloth because they use the highest quality stuff. And I swear, if you stare at them long enough, you can see them breathe. A friend of mine says, like, those are not dolls. Those are homunculi.
Oh, that's gonna make a comeback now. Gotta be a hashtag.
I think of the D&D old photo of what a homunculus looks like, and it's like peering around there's like a tree or something, like peering around.
Yeah.
Alrighty. Well,
sorry.
We're getting up to the second hour, and I know we need a break.
I'm gonna go get my Big Chief stuff.
No, that's for another show. So we want to thank all of you for joining us, and we are now up to
the original Hasbro Bumblebee. No, I remember.
No, this is the masterpiece.
Oh.
But
I have Starfire in the other room.
Nice. But
he's yellowing, and I'm so tempted to.
There's no formal announcement yet from GalaxyCon, but I'm holding this figure in my hand, and he's a Generation 1, and I'm just gonna say, stay tuned. Stay tuned for an announcement that I'm very, very, very excited for.
Sign up for that email.
Okay, well, want to thank. We're up to 37,349 Facebook subscribers, and our goal at the end of this year is going to be 40,000.
And if you all send in just $1,
yeah.
If you all just send in $1, we might be able to get David Tennant to come on for 5 minutes.
And you can all have a question. He just won't answer them all. I'll get one question. All right, we're done. Thank you all for joining us. We're going to be back next week. Wait a minute. When are you and Mackenzie doing Ian's show? When's that?
That's like 19th or 20th, somewhere in there.
Sweet show.
We're doing basically just a show, and we're going to be talking about the showrunners. We're going to be comparing about the showrunner of New Who showrunners. So there's only 3. That's kind of what was posited to us, and we're like, all right, well, we'll grab that and run. Give me 20 minutes to research, and I'll talk for 3 hours. It's cool.
So we'll keep you guys posted. But Melanie, Mackenzie, and Dave will be on the squeeze. I guess he calls it the squeeze show now.
He calls it the squeeze show.
The squeeze show. Okay.
Podcast that Ian does. I'm looking for it. No.
Yeah. But just to recap, he's doing this as a charity at the 24-hour run from beginning to end, and our team
Saturday the 19th going through to Sunday the 20th. Keep in mind that this is Greenwich Standard Time.
Yeah. And keep in mind, they're not there for the whole 24 hours. just Ian.
And you go Twitch for the full 24. Maybe I get an affiliate on Twitch. Just saying.
The good thing is he's over there and we're over here. We're going to be like late night programming for him. For us.
Like when you tune into Jerry Lewis Telethon about like hour 23, and he had been up the whole time. So, well, ladies and gentlemen, here's something for you young people. Charo.
He starts talking. He's like, "These are the jokes, kid."
He made it in 2 days. His pair piece has made it the whole length of the whole day show. Oh, poor guys.
Hey, hats off to anybody that does marathon broadcasting or whatever. Or even just organizes it,
Yeah.
And he's doing this for charity.
Twitch is a little bit easier to do that because it's expected a lot of times. And a lot of times it's for charity work too. So it's like Dr. Spaghetti is in the perfect spot to do that.
Yeah.
Nice.
All right.
I will just ask my friend Maya, please bring your friends so that we can get affiliate that day. How's that? Yeah.
And we're having some really great stuff in October.
Here it is.
I'll let it. Oh wow! Thank you. Yes, there we go. Let me take down the banner there.
Ta-da! Here's the information for you. So remember, Sunday 1 a.m. to 2 a.m. is not in here, the UK. That's actually that's the UK time. So it's actually going to be in the evening here. I've already forgotten the actual time we're going to be recording. Once it's 7 or 8. Math it, people.
We'll be keeping you up on top of things there. We're having a big lineup for Halloween. We're having a special game show with 3 of the monsters from Doctor Who. Believe we're confirming Richard Ashton and Don Davey, and we have one more monster coming up. We're going to have a little game show. It's going to be fun. It's going to be awesome. Phantasmagoria has been announced. John and I are just working out a date that we can do that, but they're going to do a special Traveling TARDIS show that they're going to actually take their act and convert it for Doctor Who. So nice. I'm very excited about how fantastic. John said, "Can we?" I asked John. I said, "John, can you make this Doctor Who?" She said, "We'll make it work." I'm like, Okay. And guys, just stay safe out there. Thanks for becoming part of the legend. We're going to end the show right here. And please stay safe.
Christian, thank you for having me on again.
Thank you, Patty.
Melanie,
Remember,
pleasure to see you all again. And I look forward to seeing you. And again, your audience, I hope you'll join us this Saturday for Barrowman and our other fine programming, GalaxyCon.com. Thank you all again.
You got it. Thank you, folks, and have a great day. Become part of the legend.